And welcome back to Hanover, the Hanover Sports Network. We're at halftime of this afternoon's ball game, homecoming here at Hanover, as the Panthers are taking on Manchester. Coming up, in about a month from right now, well, less than a month, actually, a couple of weeks away, November 1st, the Hanover College men's basketball team is going to be taking on the University of Notre Dame up in South Bend. And the coincidental thing of that ball game is we've got a couple of alums that are now coaching at Notre Dame. Micah Shrewsbury, a 1999 graduate, and Kyle Getter, a 2001 grad. Guys, thanks a lot for joining in here this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Happy to join you.
Micah, first of all, with you coming to Notre Dame after two pretty successful years at Penn State. But, taking a look at your resume, '07 through 11, assistant at Butler with Brad Stevens. Then you go back to Purdue, 11 through 13 under Matt Painter. Then you go to the Boston Celtics from 13 to 19 as Brad is over there, back to the Purdue in 19 through 21. Then head coach 21 through last year with Penn State. And plus, one thing that is really impressive about your resume is that the 10 and 11 years at Butler, you guys made it to the final two.
It was, thinking back on all those places and all those memories, or just, bringing back good feelings. And I've been blessed to be around great people and kind of started this coaching climb, and now being here at Notre Dame is pretty special because you get a chance to represent your home state. And I love being back here in Indiana, and I love being the head coach at Notre Dame, but representing Hanover College at the same time.
That's been one thing that I have to say. You look at some of the releases and everything about really you and Kyle coming to Notre Dame. Hanover is right there in the print, being Hanover grads, really giving the program a pretty good boost there.
I think we would both say this, that Hanover is a large factor in us being here. Right? It was a great start to. I knew I wanted to coach when I was at Hanover, and now being able to do what I do, but also share this experience with Kyle and a bunch of the other Hanover grads, whether they're basketball players or not. This game will be special for all of us and give us a chance to all kind of have a mini reunion up here.
That is very true. And Kyle, you're part of the group as well. You're coming, I guess you could say, back into the Hanover area for the game against Hanover. And I don't know why I'm not getting you up on my screen, but for some reason I'm not. But Kyle, you're also a Hanover grad, graduated in 2001. You too have a an impressive resume on your behalf, because 5 years at Virginia, and then VCU under Shaka Smart. And I tell you, that's a pretty doggone good resume there for you.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. No, it's what you failed to mention is that Coach Shrewsbury, that Butler team knocked us out of the Final Four. So
that was my next thing.
He's got the bragging rights here in the office. So no, I appreciate you having us on. And to echo what Micah said, I certainly wouldn't be sitting in this seat had it not been for my experience at Hanover and just the relationships that I was able to build while being there, and then moving forward. I mean, who would have thought, 24 years later, after, Micah graduated from Hanover, that I'd be sitting here, working with them at Notre Dame. It's a real blessing.
And, as I said, you were at Virginia for the past 5 years. You were at, VCU under, Coach Smart and everything. But the experience is there for you, has to be, something, tremendous. And now, in Indiana up at Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, and look, I've witnessed from afar, like what Notre Dame is and what they're about, and then, the chance to work alongside Micah on a daily basis, is just, it's real exciting. I mean, I want to help serve him and the program the best I can, and what a better, there's not a better way to kick it off than with an exhibition game against our alma mater.
And Micah, get with you now. How did this game come about? I know you and John were teammates. You guys talk quite a bit. How did this game actually get going? Was it the day that you signed the contract with Notre Dame?
Pretty close. It's something that I've always thought about, right? Like, how do we help give back to the program? How do we help do things? Because Hanover basketball was a huge part of, a huge part of my life. And now with John being one of my former teammates and being the head coach there, it just gives our program, as I say, our program is Hanover, like, it gives our program something to look forward to, right? Something special. And those are the things that I remember as a player. I remember those opportunities to get a chance to play Butler my freshman year. And something that we remembered as a group and a team. It was a special moment for us. So why not give those kids that same opportunity? And so it was no brainer for me. I just called John and said, hey, would you be interested in this? Here's a proposition for you. Why don't you come up and bring the team up here? And, gives me a chance to see a bunch of former players also, which I enjoy.
And another thing is, too, he's already agreed with me. He's already agreed with me to be on halftime on our broadcast on November 1st. But a guy that I know you and Kyle and many, many coaches from not only the high school ranks, but also across the country as well. Really, I'm going to have to say, your coaching experience too. And that's Coach Mike Beitzel.
That we're looking forward to it, to seeing him, during the game, before the game. I don't know if 15 minutes is going to be enough for you there at halftime.
No, it's not Wayne. It's not Wayne Perry that's talking. It's it's going to be Mike, and Mike always shoved off his pregame or postgame to the assistant coaches, because back in the day it was Newman that did the majority of them.
Well, maybe you'll get he and Newman both on at halftime.
We'll never get done.
That'd be great.
Micah, talk about that. What was the experience, and what was the the opportunity that really, and the knowledge that Coach Beitzel gave you?
It goes back to, and if you look at it, like, I always talk about the amount of guys that I played with that are now coaches at the college level, at the high school level, guys that were teammates of mine, or, you have John Miller that's at Hanover, you have Kyle Brummett that's at Wabash, Dave Benner that's coaching in high school, Toby Kerrigan that's, at Mount St. Joe. Like, I could go on and on from that group of guys. But like, we all just learned and watched. And I think Coach Beitzel was a huge part of, our culture that we had in our program. But he's been a great mentor for all of us. Once we've left and gone from job to job, he's been our biggest supporter. And that's one of the things. I don't know if you can see it, but I, got a plaque behind me that, he sent to Kyle and I, congratulating us on getting a job here. And he did the same when I was at Penn State. And, he's always there for us. He's our coach. And, like I said, it'll be great to see him before the game.
And Kyle, you were actually a student assistant under Beitzel during the time that you were there.
Yeah, I mean, he was the reason I transferred to Hanover. I mean, to put it plainly, I wanted to get into coaching, like Micah said. I mean, Coach Beitzel had developed a reputation of, kind of building a coaching tree and training guys to go into that profession. And you look at the number of guys from Mike Azera to, that graduated with me and even beyond, there's a lot of high school and college coaches. And, Coach Beitzel allowed me to come and join the program in a different capacity. And I learned a tremendous amount, and he trained me for 2 years. So I wouldn't trade that for anything.
And the experience that you got there as well as an assistant coach at Hanover had some pretty good teams and a lot of success.
Yeah, I mean, I still keep in touch with a lot of those guys, Thad McCracken and Derek Grimm, Joe Newman. You mentioned Joe Newman, Brian Bowen, Brandon Hoffman. I think it started well before those guys got here, but I was happy to serve Coach Beitzel and try to help him continue to build and pursue those championships.
You mentioned just a handful of guys, right there. Of course, Thad last year inducted into the Hanover College Hall of Fame as a player.
Yeah, that's look, that's special, because I remember when Thad stepped on campus, as a young guy and coming in, and now to see him, inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then also, like to see him coach. He's another guy that, chose to go into coaching, and he's done a great job at Hendrix College down in Arkansas. And I think the unique thing about guys that are associated with Hanover basketball is they love basketball, and I think it's kind of evident, as most of us have chosen that as our profession.
And every single one, it seems like, whether it be the high school or the college level, has had success. You mentioned about David Benner, Brad Hoffman, and them state titles at Silver Creek, and also hopefully Brownstown will get going here. You've got several up at Greensburg as well with Stacy Meyer before he retired. So a lot of success out there through that. Mike, I'd get with you here real quick before we get ready to go back to the ball game and get Rob get in here to do the stats. But talk a little bit about what's that going to mean. It's got to be fun. You went against Hanover when you were at Butler, but now as a head coach, this is going to be your very first game coaching at Notre Dame as a head coach, and it's against Hanover. That's also got to be a special feeling.
Yeah, and that it's going to be special anyway, right? I get a opportunity to coach, my first game, here at Notre Dame, but doing it against Hanover makes it even special. And it's something that, we'll look back years from now and always remember, and we'll talk about forever. And it's going to be fun. Like I said, a lot of familiar faces are going to be in the building, and to get a chance to see them, to get a chance to represent Hanover, it's going to be fun. It's going to be special. And, hopefully this is not the last time we do it. We want to make it
home and home,
pretty annual occasion. I'll see if we can get the team down there. If I can, figure out how to do it. I'd love to come play at the Collier Arena at some point in time.
Since 1984, since I've been around, Hanover's had Murray State, Evansville, Butler, Indiana State, and now Notre Dame as Division I teams. And I think you were part of that team that played down at Murray State.
I did. I played at Butler as a freshman, and we played at Murray State, I believe, my senior year. So two, like I said, experiences that I remember for a long time. And now these guys that are on the team, they'll always remember this game that they get to play against Notre Dame.
And I know I'm going to remember it for, Evansville, Roberts Stadium, Hinkle Fieldhouse, over at Indiana State. Hey, I grew up in the Chicago area, Digger Phelps there at Notre Dame. Of course, I was a big fan of DePaul and Coach Ray Meyer. In fact, his son Tom went to Oak Park River Forest High School, and the high school that I went to, we played against Tom in that at Oak Park. So I was a big DePaul fan, but Austin Carr, who I remember him very, very vividly there at Notre Dame, but I'm looking forward to coming up there on November 1st. Kyle, I want to say thank you very much for joining us here at halftime this afternoon, and hopefully you'll get back down here to do a little bit of visiting.
That sounds good, Larry. Thank you so much, man. It's great to see you.
All right, don't be a stranger, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you on the 1st.
Looking
Micah, same thing. Don't be a stranger, and thanks a lot for joining us here this afternoon. Looking forward to November 1st and seeing you guys taking on the Hanover College men's basketball team.
We'll see you soon. Can't wait.
All righty. Micah Shrewsbury and Kyle Getter from the University of Notre Dame Hanover alums joining us here at halftime. Back with more right after this on the Hanover Sports Network.